Lights, camera, and action.
Welcome to the I Remember Liking That Movie podcast.
Remember those childhood movies you loved? We're going to watch them again and find out if they're still as amazing as you remember. Let's get ready to join Anna and Jimmy as they go back and watch those movies you remember being oh so awesomely good. Horror movies that scared. Comedy movies that dared.
Damn!
And action movies so preposterously ludicrous that they defied the laws of common sense. Now, here's your hosts, Anna Santos and Jimmy Coates.
Welcome to the I Remember Liking That Movie podcast, and this is our second drive-in special, and today we are not going to the 90s, which I think we've been there for a while now. Yeah. And we're going back, way back to the 1970s.
Mm-hmm.
And our first feature of the night or day or whatever, whenever you're listening to this, is a 1977 classic called Smokey and the Bandit. What do you remember about Smokey and the Bandit?
I don't really remember much. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Okay. I remember Burt Reynolds. I remember Sally Field. And I remember them bickering a lot.
Yeah.
But that's about it. Like, I don't remember. And I was young the last time I watched Smokey and the Bandit. I was under 10. So it's been over 30 years.
Right.
Jesus, that's terrifying.
Yeah. My family did like Smokey and the Bandit. Got a lot of redneck blood. Hillbilly blood, I think, would be more accurate. No, I remember Burt Reynolds. I remember the other guy who drove the truck. I remember the Trans Am. I remember the guy who gets Burt Reynolds to do it, the rich guy and his son. But I remember Buford T, Justice, Jackie Gleason as the sheriff and his idiot son.
Yes.
With the one-liners that just spewed out of his mouth. I remember really liking this movie. I have not seen it in a long time. I have seen 1, 2, and 3. There are 7 Smokey and the Bandit movies.
There's what else?
7 movies. 3 was with just the guy. I can't remember his name. Who drove the truck? Cletus. That's it. He's in number 3, and Jackie Gleason is still the sheriff in number 3. But there's no Burt Reynolds and no Sally Field. The other 4 are all made-for-TV movies. I just found this out. They were made-for-TV movies that were done in the 90s. They did one every year. And yeah, it was about a younger Burt Reynolds character.
Interesting. Okay.
And I know Tracy Lords was one of the... but this was, I think, when she was around doing that sci-fi show in the 90s. It wasn't her porn days.
Well, no. She was going legit.
Yeah.
I think during the 90s.
But yeah, I've never seen these made-for-TV Bandit movies. But yeah,
neither have I.
You can buy a DVD that has all 7 of them. So just so you know. All right, let us go to the box office.
I'm ready.
With a budget of $4.3 million, it had a domestic total of $126.7 million.
Holy shit.
Holy shit, indeed. Talk about a fucking bonanza. It was not the number 1 movie of 1977 because a little movie came out the same year called Star Wars.
Yes.
But it was the second biggest movie of the year. And this is really, because this is a bit of trivia. Usually we do trivia at the end, but because this is box office, Smokey and the Bandit was a sleeper hit. It premiered at Radio City Music Hall in New York City, where it performed badly. It then opened in just the south of the United States, of course, over the
Yeah.
Memorial Day weekend and grossed $2.6 million in 386 theaters. By the end of June, it had played in major southern markets, including Charlotte, Atlanta, Jacksonville, New Orleans, Memphis, Dallas, and Oklahoma City, grossing $11.9 million. It opened in other northern states at the end of July with an original budget. I guess it was 5.3 and then cut to 4.3 2 days before production started. The film eventually grossed 126 million in North America, making it the second highest grossing movie in 1977. Only Star Wars earned more, made 220 million that year. But the worldwide gross is estimated to be over 300 million for Smokey and the Bandit. So
crazy.
It was huge. And if I had to guess, I think that when it got cut $1 million, I think Burt Reynolds, I don't know if he took a back end deal. Hope he did.
I mean, chances are they'd still be making money off the royalties of this.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
But yeah, it performed really badly. So they're like, well, let's give those hillbillies down south something to watch. To drive in. They loved it. And they're like, oh my, we're making a lot of money.
No,
Let's
they
put
just
it out
said
in the
this is
other.
not a New York movie.
No.
Because you can't just drive around real fast in a car.
And then they open it up in New York and then LA and then 127
Yeah, and then afterwards
million.
they're like, tell me more, Burt Reynolds in Sally Field.
So yeah, that's a lot of profit.
That's a lot. It's impressive.
Yeah. All right. Let's go to the tail of the tape. May 27th, 1977. It is considered a comedy. It is rated PG and comes in at 1 hour and 40 minutes. It's long if it's not funny.
Honestly, that feels long for a comedy from 1977.
It does.
Yeah.
Taglines. Time to take to the road for a quiet little drive in the country. Or not.
That's stupid.
It's a slap bang 1,800-mile road chase that jams all 40 channels with laughs.
No.
The CB comedy that rides the airwaves of laughter.
Who wrote that?
Some hillbilly. I don't know. What we have here is a total lack of respect for the law. That's
That
actually
sounds so bad. Yeah, that's pretty good.
And that is a quote, I believe, from
Yeah.
Jackie Gleason. It's Burt Reynolds, Sally Field, and Jackie Gleason in high gear and hot water.
Okay, that's not bad.
Sounds like
it's
a
not
radio.
good.
Meet Bo Darville, a.k.a. the Bandit. Smokies, cops hate him. Guys dig him, and even girls can't get enough of him.
Well, that makes it sound like he prefers if guys dig him. Is that what kind of movie this is? Because I'm down. I'm down for Burt Reynolds to get some great guy loving. I'm just saying.
I don't think so. I think Burt, we never know.
I mean, it was also 1977, so
probably not.
Probably not.
Synopsis. Big Enos, Pat McCormick, wants to drink Coors, that's the beer, at a truck show. But in 1977, it was illegal to sell Coors east of the Mississippi River without a permit. Truck driver Bo Bandit Darville, Burt Reynolds, agrees to pick up the beer in Texas and drive it to Georgia within 28 hours. When Bo picks up hitchhiker Carrie, Sally Field, he attracts the attention of Sheriff Buford T. Justice, Jackie Gleason. Angry that Carrie will not marry his son, Justice embarks on a high-speed chase after the bandit. This just sounds stupid.
This sounds absolutely ridiculous.
And the 70s was either ridiculous comedy.
Yeah.
Or it was bleak action or dystopian what is that? A Clockwork Orange, that Planet of the Apes. Yeah, so there was the comedies I think in the 70s were just silly. They just were silly. Not
there
a whole
was a lot of very silly comedy. And like it was either, this is terrible to say, it was either intellectual or dumb. Like there was either a deeper meaning or there wasn't in all movies in the 70s.
Oh,
like,
there's nothing wrong with dumb comedies.
Yeah, and they went for it. They really went for it.
All right, here's the poster, movie poster. Very 70s. It's drawn. We saw this with even Disney movies. It's very typical. It's Smokey and the Band up top with the CB radio thing intertwined with the S&B. What we have here is a total lack of respect for the law. Then we have Sally Field riding piggyback on Burt Reynolds, who's sitting on a box of Coors and an 18-wheeler, and Buford T.
He has a Coors in
Justice.
his hand.
He has a Coors in his hand, and the Jackie Gleason's pointing at him. The dog sitting on the front of the truck, and it's all disproportionate, but it's okay. But it's very 70s, very, very 70s.
Here's the thing. It's a very chaotic poster.
Yes.
Which I feel like might match the movie. Like,
yes,
the movie's going to be chaotic. That's the vibe I'm getting from the poster. So if it matches the poster, that was fucking genius.
And I believe this movie is all about car chases, crashes, and just silly humor. Well, let's go to Rotten Tomatoes. 36 critic reviews comes in at 72%.
That's pretty high.
Yeah. And 50,000 plus audience comes in at 85. Well, the critic consensus is not much in the head, but plenty beneath the hood. Smokey and the Bandit is infectious fun with plenty of car wrecks to keep your eyes glued. All right, so let's start with the positive. You may go first.
One of the best pictures of its kind. Forget how sophisticated you are for 97 minutes and enjoy it. Steve Warren, The Barb, Atlanta. No original score.
Yeah. Movies like this never get made these days. No, not because of political correctness or wokeness or any of that nonsense. It's more because it's the type of movie that was so specifically tuned into its specific time and place. 40th anniversary edition. Steven Silver, I almost said Tilt Magazine. Original score 4 out of 5. I know what he's saying. I just saw a clip of Cannonball Run where I believe it's Terry, the football player. What is his name?
I think the last name starts with a B.
Terry Bradshaw.
That's it.
He's one of the cannonballers, and him and his team is putting beer in the trunk of the car while drinking beer and then driving off into a pool, and they crash while with a beer in their hand. And I'm like, that's a 70s mindset. Like that's which would be like, oh my God. Now back in the 70s, like you're talking about Arthur, a movie about a drunk. That was 70s too. But I kind of get what he's saying here. It's of its time.
This Southern fried romp has a big personality and an infectious sense of fun. That makes it worth taking for another spin. Brandy McDonald, The Oklahoman, original score 3 out of 4.
The movie benefits from some excellent vehicular stunt work, an apt role for Burt Reynolds, the introduction of Jerry Reed, Eastbound and Down. He sang a couple songs on this. Jerry Reed, who plays Cletus, is also a singer. A Bright Turn by Reynolds, real life girlfriend Sally Field, and Jackie Gleason as at his hammiest. Matt Brunson, creative loafing, original score 4 out of 5. Oh, I just bitched about Matt Brunson last week about one of the other movies we were doing. All right, you're forgiven, Matt Brunson.
Hal Needham's direction was well paced and deft, and I came out wanting to get a CV. Ruth Batchelor, Los Angeles Free Press, no original score.
All right, Rotten. I'll start. The first in the series and the best of a lousy lot. TV Guide. Original score 1.5 out of 4.
Damn. There's a parade of roadside set pieces involving many different ways to crash cars. Variety staff, Variety, no original score.
This is a movie for audiences capable of slavering over a Pontiac Trans Am, 18-wheel tractor trailer rigs, dismembered police cruisers, and motorcycles. Lawrence Van Gelder, really? Lawrence Van Gelder, The New York Times, no original score.
Oh, Lawrence. The Burt Reynolds formula. The good old boy, armed only with a quick quip and boyish grin, goes afoul in Smokey and the Bandit despite the engaging presence of Sally Field. David Douglas, United Press International, no original score. I don't know why this one was so hard for me to read.
For me, at least, the world of Smokey is stranger than the outer space of Star Wars. Smokey may be faintly memorable as the absolute pit of Jackie Gleason's career. David Elliott, Chicago Daily News, no original score.
Wow, David.
All right. IMDb. The internet movie database, 58,000 user ratings is 7 out of 10.
Okay,
That's
not
pretty
bad.
good. No, not bad. All right, we'll take turns.
All right. Better than Fast and Furious. Bevo 13678.
It has it all. Action, romance, comedy, and drama. Let's play 66173.
Without Jackie, this would have never worked. The Kyles 99.
Big rigs, fast cars, light romance, and vast comedy. Pixie 26.
When movies were fun. Diesel Demon 85.
Those were all the 10 out of 10s. Pedal to the metal in this ripper of a good
Jesus Christ.
Hitchcock the Legend 9 out of 10. Well,
That
Goofy
sounds
just
like a
saying it.
middle-aged man trying to sound like a teenager and be with the cool kids. God.
I have to
Sorry,
remember to
Hitchcock
use
the
it.
Legend.
I have to remember to use it.
The Fast and the Hilarious 8 out of 10. Fluke Skywalker.
Redneck Rubber Riot 7 out of 10. PTB 8.
Saturday Night Movie Fun 6 out of 10. Karen Jam 1962.
Very watchable. Ultimately pointless. 5 out of 10. Tito 8.
That's good. 1970 slop that somehow appealed to many. 4 out of 10. Boomer Chindy.
Boomer Chindy, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't get it. 3 out of 10. Hanks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, Hanks. Don't bother. 2 out of 10. JMD 14.
And that there was only one for 2 out of 10, and that was it. Smokey and the Bandit is by far one of the worst films ever. It is completely horrible in every way. I loathe this film in every single way. Every single one in the whole world. 1 out of 10. Josh the Giants.
Josh is big mad.
Yeah, he did not like this movie.
No,
All right.
not even a little bit.
All right. We have taken a look at the box office. We have looked at some taglines and synopsis and reviews. Let us watch the trailer and then make our predictions. Where are you, Smokey? There you are.
At last, a warm, sensitive, touching story about the close personal relationship between a man and a woman, between a trucker and his dog,
Fred, I'm so damn tired of picking you up. I got to Fred!
between a father
No way,
and his son,
no way that you could come from my loins.
and how they all took to the road one day for a quiet little drive in the country. From Georgia to Texas and back in 28 hours flat with a truckload of bootleg beer.
I'll be driving this one. Yeah, blocker. You'll be driving the truck. This is Bandit 1, and that is Bandit 2.
Now, who would do a thing like that?
You're crazy, you know that? Yeah, you know that. Yes. How much money did you say it was? $1,000.
Universal presents Burt Reynolds, Sally Field, Jerry Reed, and Fred.
We're gonna really have to cook. I mean, put it on the back burner and let's cook. Is that a 10-4?
10-4.
And the only thing that stands between them and an $80,000 prize, Jackie Gleason as Sheriff Buford T. Justice.
I gotta barbecue your...
Bandit, I've got a Smokey report for you.
What's your handle, son?
My handle's Smokey Bear, and I'm tail grabbing your ass right now.
This is Smokey and the Bandit, the story about a lazy weekend in Alabama, Texas, Mississippi, Arkansas, Georgia.
Daddy, the top came off.
No.
We ain't gonna make it, son. We come this far. when we say we're going to do a job, we do a job? It's me they're after. They don't even know clean snow exists. Oh, they don't. Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do.
Smokey and the Bandit, proving once and for all, it's not where you're going that counts. It's who the hell's in back of you.
You got to duck it. You got to keep that truck hammer down and give it hell. He's pounded down.
I like
So,
Fred.
Fred the dog.
Yeah.
What is your prediction about Smokey and the Bandit?
I think I'm gonna like it, and I think there's gonna be a lot of very inappropriate things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a feeling there will be some offensive language.
I hope so.
Yeah, probably. It's 1977 and it takes place in the South. I mean, it's really just, and it's about smuggling beer across multiple states. There's bound to be just some off-color stuff said. And
Yeah.
I can't wait to watch it because Buford T. Justice.
I have actually, I put an order in where I get my shirts from, and one of them is a Buford T. Justice shirt.
Nice.
I also got a Wilfred Brimley Diabetes shirt. So,
Did you?
yes.
I love that.
But Buford T. Justice is also one.
Yeah.
I think I love 70s movies. And they made a lot of trucker movies in the 70s. I watching this made me think of Clint Eastwood and the one where he drives around with the orangutan.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I had forgotten about that.
I agree with you. There's going to be some off the cuff that people might find offensive. That's fine.
Yeah.
I like that. But it does look silly. It does look like there's going to be silly stunts. That's what there's going to be car chases. Yeah, I think it's going to be fun. Could be a good time.
Yeah.
All right.
I hope it's a good time.
Yeah, I hope so. Well, we are going to go watch Smokey and the Bandit. And when we come back, we are going to review it.
Go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat. The sparkling drinks are just dandy. The chocolate bars and the candy. So let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
And now, on with the show.
Did you watch Smokey and the Bandit?
That was so aggressive. Yes, I did watch it.
Your initial thoughts for Smokey and the Bandit 1977.
I mean, it was all right. I didn't hate it. I kind of liked it. Like, it wasn't bad. It's funny at parts. But it's not my jam. It's just not my jam. Yeah. Did you watch Smokey and the Bandit?
I did. And for a 70s Southern comedy, it wasn't offensive at all.
No, there was
I
only
was shocked.
one super like extra racist moment.
Yeah, but it was in context of the actual character to make him look
that character is
bigoted
just,
and yeah.
Yeah, super bigoted, closed-minded, like very just not okay. So I was like, okay, whatever.
But I was expecting a lot, and I was surprised, and I'm like, where's all the racism?
There was so little racism. And I was not shocked, but I was kind of waiting for it because I was like,
yeah.
70s in the South, it's bound to happen. And the one time it really did happen, I was like, oh, well, that just makes sense.
Yeah. It oozed nostalgia. And like you said, it was way beyond our time. But even movies it still has that nostalgia.
I will say this. I did appreciate this about Smokey and the Bandit. It had the simplest plot in the entire world, and I appreciate it because you know what? They were not trying to be anything else. They were just like, guys, this is literally just a movie
Yeah.
about driving fast with beer in a truck. That's it.
Yeah. And I did like the movie. And actually, it might be the nostalgia, the charisma of Burt Reynolds.
Mm.
Just him on the screen.
Him and first of all, he has incredible screen presence.
Wow.
Him and Sally Field together, some really great chemistry.
Yeah.
Like really awesome. The kiss was not hot, but
they were good together. Yeah.
They were so good. So good.
And might I say, this movie probably would not have worked or made as much money if Jackie Gleason was not in this movie.
The majority of the laughs came from him.
Yeah, 100%. And when he wasn't there, I was kind of like, and it was when they were on a bit with Burt and Jerry Reed and Sally Field. After a bit, you're like, where's Jackie Gleason in that son of his?
I think that's the issue that I really had. I was like, wow, there's a lot of driving.
Yeah.
In this, and I'm like, it feels really like I know it's supposed to be high speed, really fast, but you don't feel that. Except for the few times where like roads got blocked and things like that. And then you were like, okay, now I get it's a high speed chase. But for the most part, you don't get it when you're just seeing them in the car or in the cab of the truck. And it kind of has a moment, although I do enjoy a good trailer brothel.
Yeah.
I give them points for that one.
Yeah. I made a note. No, this was, I think it's like you just said, the simplicity of this movie, I kind of was expecting, I don't know what I was expecting, but yeah, it's a very simple, straightforward, nothing more, nothing less, silly, simple, fun. That's all it wanted it to be.
I think I would have liked this movie more if they gave Burt Reynolds and Sally Field more punchy comedy to do.
Yeah, where they weren't
quirky, funny.
Yeah.
But I was like, you can't put Jackie Gleason and give him that dialogue and have Burt Reynolds and Sally Field be like quirky, kind of flirty, kind of funny. I'm like, you need more. You need more. Yeah. And I think that's my one and only beef. Like, it wasn't a bad movie.
Yeah. Well, for those listening, at the end, we will go over trivia. There's some actually pretty funny trivia. And actually, like I said, I did buy it. I don't know why. I didn't think it was streaming anywhere. And then you said it was. But this actually has a brand new feature film about the making of and Burt Reynolds stuff, including, and then it also has a making of and what's your 20 and a whole bunch of things. So I'm not mad about it. But let's go over this movie. All right. Wealthy Texan Big Enos Burdett and his son, Little Enos. I like these characters. They're
so weird. I love them.
So rich and stupid.
So rich, so stupid.
Yeah. Frequently bet notable truckers in Atlanta to bootleg 400 cases of Coors beer from Atlanta, Texarkana. Yeah. Texarkana.
Or Texarkana, depending on how you want to say it.
Texas, and back to Atlanta in 28 hours, which we're introduced to the concept of a trucker who just got pulled over at the beginning of the movie. They're going through his manifest, and then they're searching his truck, and it's just full of cases of Coors.
Yeah.
And a sheriff telling the trucker, you should know better not to take bets from the Enos family. But how alien is that now? Like,
isn't it crazy? It was illegal to move beer across
state lines. And there is a reason, and it is in trivia. There is a reason why.
No, but it's funny because Coors is what this liquid gold is supposed to be. I'm like, really, guys?
I mean,
that's what you're like smuggling.
Like when you think of like beer, I think Miller, Coors, Bud. I mean, that's the three that
don't get me
pop
wrong
into my head.
But no offense to anybody who drinks those beers. Everybody's taste buds are different, but they're shit beers. So, I mean, if you like them, you like them, continue to drink them. But they are empirically, objectively shit beers. So it boggles my mind. But I'm like, you're going to risk like fines or getting arrested for Coors?
Yeah. And
maybe
the big reason for it, again, it's in trivia. Yeah,
Mm.
it's weird. Yeah, but we'll get there. All
We'll
right.
get there.
They find local legend Bo Bandit Darville, whose last name is never used, I think, in this movie,
I
uh,
don't remember hearing it.
at a truck rodeo at Lakewood Fairgrounds and offer him $80,000, which as of 2023 is equivalent to $402,241. So that's a lot of money.
For that kind of money, I'll drive it.
Yeah,
And I
to
don't
take
even have
that
my
bet.
license.
Yeah. The Bandit accepts and recruits his friend Cletus Snowman Snow and his dog Fred to drive the truck while Bandit drives a black Pontiac Trans Am as a blocker to divert attention away from the truck and its illegal cargo. And the movie does not get more complicated than that.
It does not. Well, there is
That's
one
it.
minor complication.
Oh, right. Yes. Yeah.
Which is what brings the sheriff, Buford T. Justice, after Bandit. But that's as complicated as it gets. And I'm like, you know what? You guys were like, this is what we are. And I give it to you. And I'm like, thank you. I appreciate that. You're not even trying. You're not even trying to have like any kind of deeper meaning. And I love you for it.
Yeah. So we get Big E Notes and Little E Notes finding the Bandit, who's getting paid, what was it, $25 a day just to talk to people, meet people? Yeah.
That's his rate.
Not only do they offer him the $80,000, he needs gas money, truck maintenance. He needs a car. He needs a fast car.
He's like, I need a car. Start rolling off the bills. A really fast car.
Yeah.
He's rolling off the bills.
And Big Enos is like, give it to him. And and Little Enos is getting madder and madder. He's like, God, son of a bitch, God, kick his ass. What else? Oh, money for the beer.
Yeah.
Then we get Snowman, his wife, who doesn't want the Bandit to take her husband away because he's already gone to jail. And
that was actually pretty funny.
Plethora of children. Holy fuck.
That was so funny.
Right.
Because he said you can't take him or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need him anymore. You don't need to take him anymore. How many kids have you got? Then the kids are like hanging on him. Uncle Bo.
Yeah, hanging off of him.
That's not your uncle.
So the pair arrive in Texarkana 1 hour early and load up the truck. But just as they head back, Carrie, a runaway bride, intercepts Bandit and jumps in his car, unwittingly making him an indirect target of Sherrod Buford T. Justice, a career Texas lawman whose witless son, Junior, was to have married Carrie. I don't even think they paid for the beer.
It didn't look like they paid. They also damaged a bunch of beer.
And they damaged
I think what happened is that Enos prepaid and they were just picking up.
Oh, okay.
Because if you notice, they just like basically they're like, it's here. And then they start opening doors and there are cases and cases of course. And then the forklift caused a problem.
Yeah.
And it's funny because Cletus is like, Bo, stop it. Bo, watch out for the beer. And Bo just runs right into the beer.
Yeah, knocking Cletus over the beer.
Yeah.
Yeah. And might I say, what a beautiful car. That night, I think it was a 76 Trans Am.
I only have one red flag about that car. And funnily enough, it is a flag. The front license was the Confederate flag.
The Confederate flag?
It was. I was like, ooh, I was like, racism. I was like, there's the first, but it was the only Confederate flag that I saw in this entire movie.
Yeah.
Which really surprised me. And you don't really see it all that often. Like, this is not Dukes of Hazzard, like Confederate flag on the top of the car. You don't really see it.
Love that car. The generator.
I love that car without the flag. Because we can all agree
that car is a flag.
I know.
A flag on wheels.
Repaint that car? Fuck yeah. With the Confederate flag on top, I'm not riding in it because I know crazy. I'm against slavery. Weird, right?
It's too bad the Confederate flag gets such a bad rap. It's such a cool looking flag.
Here's the thing, though, and here's a little bit of trivia for everybody, right? The Confederate flag that they fly in the South now to, remember the Confederacy and when the Southern states were strong isn't even the flag that was flown during the Civil War. That was not the Confederate war flag. That was a flag that was created later on when everybody, mostly the rich white people, were sitting there going, man, I miss slavery. Let's make a flag so we can talk about it and harken back to the old days. It's strictly for the racism.
Oh, that's too
Which
bad.
I know, right? It's not even like
Because it's better
Remember
than the
when
other
we were
flag.
great? They're both. It's all shitty. Okay.
And we also see Carrie in a wedding dress standing in the middle of the road. The bandit picks her up. Then some hooligans wait until they're gone and start stripping the car. And this is where we're introduced to Buford T. Justice. I do love Jackie Gleason in this. And his son's an idiot, and he played it great too.
I was like, you are the densest motherfucker in the world, and your father is the shittiest person in the world.
Oh, and he is the perfect backwater Texan police officer, mean, not overly bright, but not stupid.
Yeah, he's just bordering
Yeah.
on stupid. He's not there. Like, he's not in the stupid, but he's so close to it, he can smell it. Some of this stuff, oh God, there was some stuff that some of his quotes were great.
Oh, some of
And
his
I
quotes
just
were awesome.
eventually I just stopped making notes. Literally just, this is terrible to say. I was literally just writing things down like quotes, and I was like, these are amazing.
Tick turd. Fuck. Yeah. And the shirts that I actually ordered, my shirt, the one Buford T. Justice, it was either between, I got some bitch, just as some bitch on it. And I was but I was almost gonna go with Diablo sandwich, Dr. Pepper, and make it quick. I'm in a hurry.
Oh, that was great.
But yeah, I like Burt and I like Sally and Jerry and Fred the dog.
I love Fred the dog.
Yeah, but Jackie Gleason made this movie. Like, you cheered for the bandit, but you cheered because of Buford T. Justice.
Well, you wanted to see Buford T. Justice fall flat on his face, and the humiliation he goes through. Yeah, the humiliation he goes throughout this movie is so just, like, it's so great. It's so gratifying. You're just like, yes, because this is how it should be. He never gets a leg up. He never has the advantage. And I love it. I love it because sometimes they're like, oh no, it's getting close. It never got close. It got sad. It got pathetic. It got funny, but it never got close.
No. Okay. The justices engage in a high-speed hot pursuit and doggedly chase Bandit all the way to Georgia to retrieve Carrie and arrest the Bandit, while successive comical mishaps cause their cruiser to experience increasing damage along the way. And that was a running gag. Like,
oh yeah,
that car took a shit kicking. First,
they lost the roof of the car, then they lost a door.
Yeah. By the time they got to the end of the movie,
they fell in the water.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the water. Yeah.
When they were getting the car kind of fixed, it was on a jack, and they started the car because apparently they forgot
driving with it,
and it drove over another car. That car was so beat up.
Bandit attracts more police attention across Dixie as Cletus barrels on towards Atlanta with the contraband beer, but they are helped en route by many colorful characters via CB radio. Neither Buford nor any other lawmen know of Cletus's illegal manifest, while Bandit is likewise unaware that Buford is chasing him because of Carrie, whose jumpiness inspires Bandit to give her the CB handle, Frog. She, of course, got this handle from the Bandit because she's always hopping around and she's cute like a frog. And like he said, he wanted to jump her.
Yeah, that was great timing. When he said that, I was like, ooh, that was perfect.
Yeah. And Burt Reynolds has that. He does have that talent in most of the movies I remember watching him in. Yeah. Now looking ahead, hold on. Yeah. See, the next part of Wikipedia here is the last 4 miles of the movie. Okay, so we get Sheriff. Hold on. Because this was the only racist part of the movie, but it comes from the character who thought exactly how we thought he would think. It wasn't a surprise.
He was our stereotypical Southern character from the 70s. And we were like, thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
So we get Sheriff. So during the pursuit of Georgia, the Georgia Sheriff tells Buford he and his men will take it from here and chase the Bandit. Great chase.
Yes.
Even greater jump over that bridge and the river.
God,
and the cars just go flying into the river. And Buford talking to the white guy like he's the sheriff, and then the black guy's like, I'm the sheriff. Oh, you
Well,
sounded taller on the radio.
he calls him boy.
Boy.
Boy, where's the sheriff? And I was like, oh, that
But he
is.
does call everybody boy.
Eventually he
Even
does. But
white people.
The first time he says it
Yeah.
is to the black sheriff. And I was like, oof.
And in
like, is
perfect
it gonna be
character,
that movie?
he's just a guy that does not he doesn't care if he's offending you. Although he does apologize for cussing on the CB.
He does, and we appreciate that. No, but it was funny because after that, it's funny because the sheriff says to the little deputy who's driving, if you mess up this car,
Yeah, it's coming out of your pay.
it's coming out of your paycheck. Then he was fine. He stopped on the bridge and he's like, "Oof." And then he gets rear-ended by Buford T. Justice. And he turns to the sheriff and he's like, "That wasn't my fault." And then Buford T. Justice has his racist moment. And then as he's walking away, he says something like, "I don't know what the world's coming to. Or the world's just not the same." And I was like, "Oh, dude." So racist. But it's funny.
So no, go ahead.
Well, no, the Georgia sheriff. Is it the Georgia sheriff?
I think
Branford.
it is,
Yeah. The way he was talking, because Buford T. Justice can't say just Buford or Sheriff Justice. No, it's Buford T. Justice. He tries ordering him around and he's like, "We need a roadblock. We need this." And the sheriff's like, "Not your jurisdiction. We'll do it my way. I got this handled." And he keeps trying. And it's really funny just to see him being put in his place. And then when he finally meets the sheriff, you're like, "Oh, do you feel a little small? A little teeny tiny?" I appreciated that.
Then the bandit, who hasn't been around the snowman a whole lot, says he's going to drop Carrie off at a choke and puke, which is code for diner. Then we get the bandit getting a drink and 2 cheeseburgers for Fred because the snowman says Fred's looking a little pale or thin or something. Then we get Buford T. Justice coming in, asking Junior if he wants anything. And what does he yell out? Hush puppies.
Oh, yeah, because he orders his sandwich.
Yeah.
And then he kind of goes to the door. It's like, "Junior, you want anything?" "Hush puppies." "What do you mean, hush puppies?"
But yeah, and he's like, a Diablo sandwich, Dr. Pepper, and make it quick. I'm in a goddamn hurry.
And then Bandit has a whole ass conversation with him.
Yeah, which was great. And is someone chasing you? There ain't nobody chasing me, boy. I'm chasing. It was good.
One thing I will say for Sally Field's performance in this, every time they're in the chase and Bandit recognizes that they're being followed by, like, "Oh, the sheriff's behind me," or whatever, she looks super uncomfortable and like she's trying to dodge something.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, you're really like, even though you're in the car, she's just like, she looks nervous, and I really like that.
Yeah, like the acting, like especially from like her and Jerry Reed is really good. Where Burt Reynolds is, like I said, very charismatic, and
I think Burt Reynolds is just Burt Reynolds in this movie.
yeah, I think Burt Reynolds is just Burt Reynolds in a lot of movies.
True story.
But I really like Burt Reynolds.
You know what? Apparently he ends up being an asshole to Sally Field at some point in real life. And we all get that because he was threatened by her success. But he was still very, very charismatic. Yeah. And he was definitely a ladies' man. Like, he was just very, I don't want to say professional panty dropper because that's weird, but kind of.
Yeah. No, he was definitely, ladies liked him. Mm-hmm. Then the sheriff excuses himself to take a squirt. The bandit pays for his dinner or Diablo sandwich and Dr. Pepper. Then the bandit runs out of the diner, and Carrie's already waiting there driving the Trans Am. Buford T. Justice walks out with the toilet paper stuck to his pants, and it just keeps going all the way to the diner.
They weren't even stuck to his pants.
No.
That's the beautiful. He was using it to wipe, I think, his glasses or his sunglasses. Yeah. And then they just became attached to his sunglasses. So he's just walking out of the diner with toilet paper attached to his sunglasses. And the waitress has to stop him and be like, "Excuse me, I'm going to take that back." And she starts rolling it up.
Yeah, that's what I made a note. Like, they're going to use that again.
They're totally going to use that again.
And Buford T. Justice like watches her and he's like, "Nice ass."
Yes.
What the fuck? All right. A car accident makes them turn around and they drive off the screen, and then they enter back of the screen as Buford's chasing them. We get Burt and Sally Bandit and Carrie trying to switch places a couple times.
Yeah.
But this is where we get Buford and Junior driving right under the truck during this. And then
They lose the roof of their car.
Junior just looking around and just looking at Daddy, the roof came off. That was
And the best part is I realized that
So dumb.
Junior, looking at his wedding morning suit,
yeah.
he has a sheriff's badge on it.
Yep.
He's a deputy. He's law enforcement. And I'm like, finally, nepotism. Perfect example of why it should never happen.
Then we get the funeral and Buford and Junior get stuck behind, and Junior's like, wow, this guy had a lot of friends.
Yeah, but they purposely got stuck, which is great because
Yeah,
the
'cause
funeral
they-
guy recognized Bandit and he was like, hey, you need us to slow him down? We got
Yeah.
you. And then they just crawled past.
And then, yeah, because Buford G. Justice is because I have it here. If they had cremated this some bitch, I would be kicking the bandits' ass by now. They continue the chase. Junior's holding on to his
His
dad's
hat.
because the roof's gone and
I realized that where I was like, oh my God, he's holding down his.
so it doesn't fly off.
And then at one point he gets out of the car and his hand's still on that. They're just walking.
Oh God. And then another great jump by the Trans Am into that football game. Is it a football game or a baseball game?
Football.
Football. The sheriff doesn't try it. Then Junior wants to just ask if he can watch the game. They meet the Snowman and Fred, and they get the hamburgers, and they go over their strategy. Bandit and Carrie take off, and then Fred runs away, and he ends up taking a swim in the pond.
That was Fred, come here. Fred, come here. And then they pull out, and you see them in the pond.
Fred's just swimming around, enjoying life.
Yeah, he's like, this is nice.
Then we get the Bandit gassing up, and we get the CB conversation from him and the sheriff, which is again, that's where they're on that.
On the jack.
The jack, yeah.
Because apparently they were at the same gas station.
Same gas
service
station. Yeah, and then the Bandit takes off. The sheriff sees him. Then we got another roadblock.
Yeah.
Then Bandit takes the Trans Am down the river. I was very curious how many Trans Ams they destroyed in this movie.
Well, they probably would have had bare minimum 3,
Yeah.
more likely 5 to film this movie.
I hope
A lot of
so.
fucking Trans Ams.
Yeah. Then we get the Bandit and Carrie stretching their legs. They flirt, and then they do it.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they have sex.
Do they? Did I miss
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, because that's when she goes, "You always wearing that cowboy hat," and he's like, "I only take this hat off
Right.
for one thing," and she's like, "Well, you want to take it off?" Yeah, that's Burt Reynolds.
See, and there I was thinking he only took it off for church.
No, not church. Snowman stops for gas and something to eat, and then he get at that diner and with the bikers, gets beat up because one of the bikers said Fred bit him. So they punch the shit out of Snowman and throw him out of the bar.
Yeah.
The cook brings him his food and he pays for his gas, and then he drives the 18-wheeler over the bikers' bikes.
It's so funny because he hobbles over and the gas attendant's like, sorry, man.
Yeah.
$73 to fill up that. $73.
Jesus
fill up my
Christ.
truck.
For that 18-wheeler.
Right.
Wow.
And then he hands him Fred. He puts Fred in. Cook comes out, gives him the thing, and he's like, oh, sorry, man. You know, Cletus is like, it's okay. It's okay. Snowman's like, it's cool. Gets in the truck and just drives right over all of the bikes. Like he's like, yeah, he's hobbling, but he's like, it's okay. Don't worry about it. He
Fucking
just drives
total
right
bum.
over it. And then both of the employees are just sitting there going, oh, yeah.
Then the sheriff gets pulled over as he's going through a police check by the state trooper. He's like, you can't drive that piece of shit on the road. Then he tears him, and
evidence.
it's evidence, and then loses his shit on the trooper. Oh. Then we get the prostitutes at the motorhome telling the Bandit on the CB that they're taking one for the team.
See, I don't even think that's a proper motorhome. I think it literally is just like a camping trailer.
Yeah, it looks like a camping trailer.
Yeah, it looks like a camping. And I'm like, I appreciate you so much because honestly,
hey, not a lot of overhead then.
entrepreneurship, my
Yeah.
friends.
just off the road somewhere.
Yep.
You get in trouble or just move it.
I mean, I don't know what the laws are. I don't know where they are at that point. Are they in Arkansas?
Mississippi?
Mississippi?
I don't know. They could be.
If people could let
Alabama?
us know
Yeah.
where brothels are totally like I know in Vegas, like in Nevada, you can have a brothel.
Yes.
I'm not sure about the other states, but there are some, and I have a feeling some of them are southern states.
Yeah.
So if anybody listening or watching could let us know where can we have a brothel. Not that I'm planning on starting one.
Moving down, getting a trailer.
Although I could definitely like a little trailer park. Are you kidding me?
It'd be all right. Nice and...
I'd make a killing.
And I think they're giving. She says they're giving freebies to the law enforcement.
Yeah, she's distracting the law enforcement.
Yeah,
so that they're not there to stop them. Like, don't worry, we've got them occupied.
And we must say, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say we have to say that like the Bandit is getting help all throughout this movie from truckers on CBs, old ladies with the CB in their car, whores with hearts of gold. I mean, everybody's helping him out that can hear him on the CB.
It's true, everybody. And I made a note, and I'm like, are truckers really that famous in the South in the 70s? Like, because he's got a fan base.
Yeah.
And I'm like, for driving a truck, was that really a thing?
Well, I think he also said that he raced trucks.
Yeah, but I'm sitting there and I'm like, is there really that much that like multiple states?
But I guess if you outrun a few cops and help a couple truckers out, people remember you, or I guess, I don't know.
Or maybe it's everybody who just has a CB radio was like, I've heard a Bandit.
Even one trucker was warning him about the Smokies that he was on the same highway as the Bandit.
Yeah.
As the cop was writing him the ticket.
And then he takes the ticket. He's like, thank you very much.
Yeah.
You have a good day.
The Bandit actually flips the channel and is heard saying that he's going to the trailer park brothel so Buford can hear him. Buford ends up trying to arrest the cop, or I think he was the captain.
Yep.
It's like, this here is the Bandit. And he goes, that there is my captain. And we even get a convoy hiding the Bandit when the cops are chasing him. Like they shuffle around on the highway and he sneaks in between them, which was kind of cool.
That was very cool.
And I think we're back to Wikipedia now. Okay, so just after re-entering Georgia, Cletus is rescued by Bandit after being stopped by a Georgia State Patrol motorcycle trooper as state and local police intensely pursue Bandit with roadblocks and a helicopter to track his movement. Yeah, so he gets pulled over and then he wants to see the manifest here, and this is what he was supposed to be doing the whole time, and comes up and speeds right past, and the trooper's like, screw the truck, and heads after the Bandit. He ends up in the ditch or river, or he ended up in the water, in some sort of water. With 4 miles left, Bandit, discouraged by the unexpected mounting attention, is ready to give up, but Cletus, who initially thought they would fail, takes the lead and smashes through the roadblock at the fairgrounds maintenance. But this is where they also get a help from a bunch of kids hanging out at, I don't know, a diner with their trucks.
They get help from Hot Pants.
Hot Pants, that's right.
Because that's her CB handle, Hot Pants, and she lived up to it. Those were some hot pants.
Those were some hot pants.
I
love that
hot pants.
1950s fucking roadster thing that one kid was driving.
Oh, God, yeah,
that was
so cool.
Nice, yeah.
That was, but they ran interference, and like slowed them, it like blocked off.
Yep.
Cops, so they were like, "No, we're moving now. Let's go." Everybody hops to their cars, especially Hot Pants, wearing hot pants, like true 70s hot pants. I was like,
oh yeah,
that must give you such a wedgie.
They make it back with 10 minutes to spare, but instead of taking the payoff, Carrie and Bandit accept a double or nothing offer from Little Enos, a challenge to run up to Boston and bring back clam chowder in 18 hours. They quickly escape in one of Big Enos' Cadillacs as police flood the racetrack. Yeah, because Snowman's just wanted the money. He's like, I'm going to get divorced.
Yeah.
Thanks. Thanks a lot, fuckhead.
I'm going to have to pay child support. Let's go.
But he didn't ask them to drop him off at home. He was going with them.
He was like, let's go. I think he's the one that says yes to the double or nothing.
Yeah, he might have.
I think he was.
After passing Buford's badly damaged cruiser on the roadside, Bandit gets on the CB and initially directs him to the Burdettes. Yeah, you'll see me there. I'm dressed ridiculous, and I got a little person standing beside.
Matching outfits.
Yeah, but then respectfully gives his real location right behind Buford, who continues his chase, leaving Junior behind, and with more parts falling off his cruiser as he limps off after the Bandit. And that is our movie. All right. Well, what is your score for Smoking the Bandit?
Okay, so if you are very nostalgic for 70s movies and you are a lover of car driving movies, then you're going to love Smokey and the Bandit. There is a lot of laughter in there. It's just not consistent enough throughout for me. The story is very straightforward, and I appreciate that. Jackie Gleason does an amazing job. Burt Reynolds does an amazing job. Sally Field does an amazing job. Like, the cast does very well with what they have. And this is a movie that was obviously made for pure entertainment.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that. I'm going to give it a stream it because I didn't like it that much. I liked it, but I'm also super glad I didn't have to rent it.
Right.
Because it would feel like a bit of a waste for me. But I mean, there are enough laughs in here, and I kind of chuckled a lot. And there were some classic lines. It's definitely very quotable.
Yeah.
Tit turds. That one's my favorite.
Tit turds, yeah.
When they said tit turds, I was like, what? But yeah, I'm definitely a stream it. But I mean, entertaining, and it's nice to see Burt Reynolds and Sally Field so young, so fresh.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's your score?
Look, I liked it. Burt Reynolds is charming. Sally Field was great. Jerry Reed was great. Again, without Jackie Gleason, you do not have a movie, a movie like this. This is surprisingly a very family-friendly comedy, which really shocked me. It's silly, it's amusing, and it's fun, but this is the ultimate in the background movie. Like, if you're doing something, if you have friends over, you can create a drinking game easily with this movie.
Yeah.
Just a fun, light, rainy Sunday movie or an outdoor Saturday night movie. You know what you're getting. There is charm, there's nostalgia. You probably would, if you've never seen it before, it could be a hard sell to say buy it or rent it. You might want to stream it just to see where this movie kind of started that silly type, or helped start that silly type, just entertaining type movie. But if you do remember liking it, it's not as laugh out loud as you might remember. It's just fun. Just fun, light. So I'm going to say buy it because I bought it.
You just don't want to be alone in buying it.
I just don't want to be alone. No, this movie, you can buy all three of them, a Blu-ray on Amazon for like $10. So I would say safely buy it at a discount. Again, but if you've never seen it, I would say, I usually don't like giving asterisks, but if you've never seen it, this might not.
This is a very particular movie.
Yeah.
Like this. And I like ridiculous movies. Okay. Give me some Beach Blanket Bingo. I am all over that shit. Love it. This one, it had some laughs. It was a little bit quirky, a little bit silly. Just didn't do it for me.
Yep. Yeah. Well, there we go. We've been agreeing on a lot.
I know, right? So weird.
Yeah.
We should watch something that we will definitely disagree on.
All right.
Let's
well,
watch a rom-com.
Fuck. What was the last? Was that the last holiday that we watched? Oh God.
It was fucking magic. It was fucking magic.